What is up, you gamers out there? The name is Tekken Heat, and it's time to buy our next car, the Volkswagen. For a second, I'm about to say, like, wait, I could have sworn I already got this car. I don't know why they're showing. Why are they showing this again? Anyways, the Volkswagen Golf GTI. Only in street spec. Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure we're gonna run into a couple of these, not gonna lie. I do know some of these do not acquire the perf nor dirt specs. Some only acquire just a perf, just a dirt, just like my Mustang my Mustang Fastback only had a perf spec. So we will be encountering these, and when this stuff happens, I'll just select the best of its, you know, tune. Yeah, she does look like a pretty nice car. I would own a Volkswagen. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why. There's just something about them that it just looks nice. There's just something about it. It just looks really, really nice. But anyways, hope you guys are doing good. I know I am. Been having a great couple days actually. Starting with Friday when I actually saw Furious 7, which I will be talking about after I'm done customizing the Volkswagen. I actually don't expect to get much customization out of it because street specs, it's not too crazy, so let's just go with what we got though. Still at 736. That is nice. Very powerful. Alright. Color. I might go with... Ooh, that's actually really nice. Although I kind of want to go with the blue. Although the orange... I actually don't see too many orange. Like, I think a blue is actually very, very traditional. So for now, I'll stick with the orange and we'll see what happens from then on. Now, I kind of did figure this though. Bumpers, it doesn't get... Oh. Hold on. Yep, I know what I'm getting. I was just about to say, like, you're not gonna get too much out of it, but then I saw that last one and oh my gosh. That actually looks pretty sick. I really do love those taillights. Alright, I think we might go with... Actually no, the taillights now look kind of weird. Although it is carbon fiber. And I love carbon fiber. So... I kind of like it with this though, but I don't know. Kind of want to be a little, you know, a little weird. I might just stick with this. Because why not, man? And why do none of these fenders like ever give us anything? Of course, I'm sticking with the carbon fiber side skirt. Duh. Official. These look very nice, but just because it's a little more custom. No, actually, that makes no sense. Whatever. Wing. I'll take it. Hood. Carbon fiber, of course. Duh. You already know what I want. I want that, but what's this last one? Taking this, be looking mighty fine. Oh wait, we already got the carbon fiber. Do not want to go back. Once you go carbon, you never go back. I think we all know that, you know, gotta get that weight reduction. For interior now, yo, I like that, but it just doesn't work with this, you know, the outside of the car. Oh, but it looks so good. That's a really nice interior. Actually, it goes in with the inside. I can say that at least. Hmm. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Of course, I wish I had my. Actually, I do have the red, but it is in the whatchamacallit. Oh wait, can we get wood? Wood style, baby. Yes. Gonna have our first wooden interior. Looking good. I actually already like the exterior. I mean, without the paint itself. Now that one stripe down the middle just looks kind of odd. That, my friends, that is what we're going with. However, what else do we have? But I think I've already made up my decision. That looked mighty fine, and nothing else compares except for this. JK. It's not too bad. But. Yes. yes, 1,000 times yes. How would it look like in blue, though? No, absolutely not. Oh, that looks good. That looks really good. I'm impressed with what I've come up with. Very well impressed. Let's take this out on the city streets. No, it's a good looking car. It really is. It's a good looking Volkswagen. I am actually proud to drive this car. Hit them high speeds in the Volkswagen. Okay, so I think we're just gonna stick to the good old city streets, since this is a street spec, as I get my burnout going. And I'm just gonna talk about Furious 7. Now, I did see the movie the day it came out, April 3rd. I couldn't wait. You know, I've been hyped up for Furious 7 for quite a long time, even before the tragic death of Paul Walker. May you rest in peace. I'm actually very happy with how things went in the movie. There will be some spoiler alerts, but I will not spoil the entire thing for you guys, those who haven't actually seen the movie. Now, oops, fail. Now, for those guys that do not know, the plot of Furious 7 is pretty much a revenge story. Now, oh, this is actually pretty nice. Now, in Fast and Furious 6, I think it was it's Fast and Furious 6. We were taken to France, I believe, somewhere, either France or Russia. No, I don't believe it. Well, Russia was one of the places, but I believe it was mainly in France, where you meet Owen Shaw, I believe. Either it was Owen Shaw in Fast and Furious 6, or Owen Shaw was now. I think it was Owen Shaw and Ethan Shaw. I think you get the idea. You're meeting one of the Shaw guys, and pretty much in the end, it all ends up with the crew, pretty much, not the crew game, but the crew in Fast and Furious, pretty much taking down Shaw. Now, in Furious 7, you have his bad brother coming in wanting revenge, and what he's doing is pretty much hunting down the entire crew. Now, a smart thing that they did with this was tie in Tokyo Drift, because Han, for those guys that do not know, was actually a part of the crew, and Han sadly died in Tokyo Drift. So what they did at the ending of Fast and Furious 6, at the end of the clips, I mean at the end of the movie, after the credits and stuff, they pretty much tied it all in, showing that Brother Shaw is the one who actually murdered Han. He's the one who actually flipped over Han's RX-7, which was a beautiful car. and caused it to explode, and that was the start of his hunt. In Furious 7, it pretty much starts right off from there, showing where the Shaw brother is pretty much has his younger brother in the hospital, showing how badass he is by and it was really funny. This is pretty much the set beginning of the movie. It pretty much showed him leaving the hospital, showing that he kicked everybody's ass. He kicked all of the guards, he kicked the police officers, he pretty much destroyed the entire hospital, and pretty much told the doctors, you know, you better keep him alive. And as he's leaving, he has a little comedy scene where just before he's exiting, he gives one of the guards, or maybe it's a police officer, I can't fully remember, he hands over a grenade, and he's like, hold this, and pretty much puts him behind the front desk as it explodes, and as Shaw walks away looking like a badass. It was pretty funny, and of course as he walks out, he hops into a beautiful Jaguar, and oh my gosh, I just want to say the cars in the movie were all spectacular. Every time there was a car scene, I was pretty much jizzing in my pants. I looked like a little kid at a candy store. Holy crap, I was so giggity. It was just amazing. Now, when it came to the crew, pretty much there was a couple different side stories. One of them involved Letty, who, for those guys who do not know, in Fast and Furious 6 we had seen her come back after I can't freaking talk, after Fast and Furious 4, where we saw, or we assumed, that Letty had died, but it turned out in Fast and Furious 6 Letty had came back, but with a lost memory. Now in Furious 7, pretty much the entire movie, we're pretty much seeing her regaining back her memory through a montage of flashbacks, and this happens about 3 times, I believe. The first one involved somewhere around the beginning when Dom decides to take Letty back to a certain spot that many people who have seen Fast and Furious 1 will clearly remember, Race Wars. Race Wars is pretty much a very popular street racing, you know, event where racers come out, drag race, do all kinds of races. It's pretty much a big car meet, and pretty much Dom takes Letty to Race Wars. She races a dude in a Audi R8, beats the guy in the Audi R8. It was pretty funny, and at the end of the race, you pretty much see Letty as she's being surrounded by many racing fans, or pretty much street racers. You just see her like having a quick flashback, and it's her regaining back memory, but she does freak out, kind of panics, and punches a dude in the face and runs off. But that's only the beginning of her flashbacks. We also do see her get another flashback during when they're in I believe it's Abu Dhabi, if I'm not mistaken. It's one of the rich, you know, places around that area, and you know, that's also in the scene where they have the beautiful lighting, which I will get to in a little. But pretty much with the Abu Dhabi, you also see as they're about to approach the party, which they got an invitation from you know, a guy, you see her getting another flashback, which is actually a very important one that they don't explain till the ending of the movie, which I will not say because it was actually a pretty big shocker to me, even though some people might have figured that would have happened, but it's just something that you just wouldn't expect. Now for the car scenes, first off, the popular parachuting from a helicopter. I don't know how the hell I died. From the airplane. Sorry. I'm sorry, wait, I gotta get some water real quick. Oh my gosh, my throat is killing me. Alright, so starting with the popular car scene when the pretty much the crew is parachuting off of a plane to go and I guess you can say retrieve this girl who was actually very important later on in the movie, which I will explain. Actually no, you know, let me explain that because that's actually a very big plot of the movie. One of the things is in order for the crew to keep track of the guy who's hunting them down, one of the Shaw brothers, they need to acquire this technology called God's Eye. And what God's Eye is pretty much the NSA's, you know, wet dream technology, which is pretty much something, which is pretty much a device where you can see anything that goes on. If you want to track down somebody, you can easily track them down if they're by anything that has either a webcam, has any kind of speakers or microphone, anything. If you're by technology, you can be tracked. You don't have to use it. If it's nearby you, you can be tracked easily. Like if somebody, they actually showed a scene where they were tracking the guy and he was driving by somebody who was on their phone, and because the phone had a camera, they were able to use that camera and track down the guy's location and able to track his entire movement, and it was pretty damn insane. It's pretty much the NSA's dream toy. So in order for them to catch God, or in order for them to acquire God's Eye, they need to, dude, how many hidden car parts am I gonna find now? So in order for them to acquire God's Eye, they need to track down, or they need to pretty much hunt down this lady. I can't remember her name, but it's pretty much the creator of God's Eye. And it was pretty interesting the way how they were pretty much gonna get her. And it was through this whole car scene of the parachuting from the plane. It was really funny because of Roman Pierce, aka Tyrese Gibson, or I guess that would be the other way around, Tyrese Gibson, aka Roman Pierce. He's always funny, you know, bitching out of stuff. I kind of say, like, many people say that he's a bitch in the movie, but in all honesty, he's the guy who looks at things with a realist point of view. He's pretty much the guy that the audience would be. You know, when they're talking about parachuting from the plane, he's pretty much talking about how, like, this is crazy, this is mad insane, like, why the, like, is there any other way? This is just batshit insane. He also talks about all the previous other things that he's had to done in the other Fast and Furious, how they had to take down the plane, how they had to, you know, rob the bank from Fast 5 and stuff, how all the stuff that they've been doing, it's just mad shit insane. And everyone's calling him a pussy for this, but in reality, it's what we're all thinking on the outside. For all those who are watching the movie, they're thinking like, dude, are you serious? This is just crazy. That's pretty much him. But of course he does it in a I have no idea what the word is called. In a funny way. There you go. He says it in a funny way. I want to use like a more professional term, but I just couldn't come up with the word. It was satirical. So I feel like I come very, very close, but I'm missing a vowel. So not even gonna try. So as they're parachuting off the plane, Roman Pierce is acting his old usual pussy ways, I guess you can say, and it's pretty much in the end forced to get out of the plane because Tez actually controls his parachute. He was actually controlling Roman's car to get out of the plane. It was all funny. When you see it, you just can't help but laugh the whole way. And actually they added in a lot more parts than what we'd expect in that entire chase scene or raid scene. Pretty much you had you pretty much had the arrival of the Shaw guy coming in with a armored dune buggy, it looks like, as he's trying to stop the guys, as he's trying to stop the crew from acquiring God's eyes, well, acquiring the hacker who owns God's eye. And it's actually really cool, and it does kind of get annoying when you see how often this guy does pop up. Like almost every area the crew goes, Shaw guy is there. I think it's Owen Shaw. I really think it's Owen Shaw who's hunting them down. No, I can't remember which Shaw brother it is. Oh my gosh, bro, my memory is just that bad. But anyways, you guys get the idea. So pretty much everywhere the crew goes, he's there, and every time he pops up, excuse me, everything just gets 10 times better. For instance, in the beginning, when the Rock was there, crap, there goes my time. I have no idea. I accidentally hit that button. I'm sorry. So, as I was talking about, for those guys who don't know, The Rock and Shaw had a big fight. I can't remember Shaw's real name, like the actor. I can't remember the actor who plays it. But pretty much, Shaw, someone hacks into The Rock's computer in order to track down the crew. And it winds up that The Rock gets really mad and they have a big fight scene. Before this, not much was really going on. But the moment Shaw pops up, shit goes down. You know that the moment Shaw appears, shit's about to get real. And it appears to be that way every time he pops up. Along with the hijacking of the bus, well, not the hijacking of the bus, but the car scene from the parachuting down to acclaim the hacker of God's eye in Abu Dhabi where the Lycan was. And let me just say, it almost brought me to tears when the Lycan was going through the buildings and fell to his demise. It almost brought me to tears because of how beautiful the car is and how there are only, I think they said, 7 Lycans are made in the world, and knowing that 1 out of the 7 just got destroyed right there, even though of course it was fake. It's not like they actually took a real Lycan and destroyed it, but just seeing that, it's just like, oh my gosh, man, it nearly brings you to tears when you see it. But when you see, oh, I should also point out, in Abu Dhabi, the chick fight between Lady and whoever the UFC chick is, oh my god! I think I just killed 2 bulls. Fuck it. Going to St. Louis. But yeah, the fight scene, beautiful. The car scene are beautiful. Pretty much everything in the movie has been beautiful. I know I've been pretty much, you know, rambling about the Fast and Furious movie, just constantly just picking out random things, you know, not giving you a set topic. But if I had to sum everything up, oh shit, crap baskets. But pretty much through the movie, if I got to rate how everything was, the plot line, 10 out of 10. The cars, 10 out of 10. The fights, 10 out of 10. Everything was so damn good in this movie. I don't see how you can look at the movie and say that you hate it, especially with the end. The end, if you said that you walked out not crying, you're a fucking liar, and you clearly did not build the connection, then you're just not as big of a fan as, you know, you might think you are. Because in the end, they made a tribute to Paul Walker pretty much sending him off the right way. Now, this is how it ended, and you know, it's really not a spoiler alert because so many people have already talked about it. It's been shown countless numbers of time. Pretty much in the end, after everything is done, Mr. O'Connor, Paul Walker, is, or well, I guess you can say his brother, he's pretty much, oh shit, he's pretty much on the beach with his son Jack, his wife Mia, with the crew just watching him, just having fun with the family. And it was that's what started everything. That's when things just started getting emotional, where it's just looking at it and how everyone there was just like, it's so beautiful in that he's at home, where he's where he belongs right now. Ram. Okay, I thought I was gonna get pulled over. How, you know, the crew is looking at it like, this is beautiful. He finally looks to be at home. This is where he belongs. He belongs with his family. And you look at that and it's like, it starts to get you all teary-eyed. But it is, you know, you can pull off not pulling off tears at that part. But it wasn't until Dom pretty much drives off in his Charger, just cruising down the road, and then you have Mr. O'Connor driving up to him in a white Supra at his stoplight and looks at him talking about how, like, what, you're just gonna leave without, like, you didn't think you were gonna leave without saying goodbye. And pretty much this is where things started getting emotional, because Dom starts having his, you know, little monologue speech where he pretty much says how, like, the old, I live my life a quarter mile at a time, you do too, this is why we're brothers. And then he starts saying how it doesn't matter if you're a quarter mile away or halfway across the world, you'll always be my brother. Like, he'll always be a part of the family. Like, he'll always be there. He'll always be there. And as he's doing this monologue speech, it's pretty much Brian and Toretto just cruising down the streets in their cars. It's a good thing that they didn't end it off with a race, you know, because I feel like that would have drawn you away from the whole emotional thing. I'm so glad that they just did a cruise, because it doesn't distract you as much. So after just cruising down, things started getting like very, very teary-eyed when they just show them hitting a fork in the road and then splitting apart. And of course the camera drifts away from Toretto and focuses on Paul's car as he's driving away in the Supra, just off into the sunset. And as you watch that, you know, it just, like, it was at that part that I thought, like, I just looked, I'm just like, there's no point in holding back. There is no point in holding back emotion. If you have to cry, then cry. And I just let it out. I just started crying and crying and crying, especially when they started showing pretty much a montage of Brian's, you know, past scenes in all of the Fast and Furious, from Fast and Furious 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, and I don't think they did 7 as well, because you were just watching 7. And as you're seeing that, you're just watching it, just crying, just realizing how important Paul Walker was. And one of the reasons why I felt so, you know, connected to Paul, you know, one of the reasons why he made such an impact on my life is because he is one of the main reasons why I really got into cars. Watching Fast and Furious, watching the entire series got me so attached to cars, it made me love it so much, especially with Paul Walker, since pretty much everything he drove was JDM cars. JDM cars are my favorite type of cars. The Skyline, if it wasn't for Paul, I wouldn't be as connected with the Skyline as I am now. Yeah, Need for Speed did, you know, bring me attached to it, but it wasn't until Paul, you know, we, you know, started can't freaking talk. Started like really driving the Skyline, that me and like many others just started like really building that connection with it. You know, there's a reason why it's such a legendary car, and Paul Walker drives it almost every time in Fast and Furious, and it's just like, bro, him and JDMs are just like, they're meant to be. Like, every time you see a JDM car, you think of Paul Walker, at least in my opinion. You know, that's why every time in the movies he's always driving a Japanese import. And it wasn't just in the movies where you see how much of a car guy he is, or where you see his car guy self, but it's also in real life. In real life, he actually did love cars. He seriously had a passion for it. He owned many cars, and they even had a tribute where they showed his garage full of his cars. And it's just like, the Paul Walker we see in Fast and Furious isn't, you know, that's not just a character, that's actually him. What we're seeing is actually, you know, who he is. He truly is a car guy. This is who he is, and it's that respect that you start building for him even more, where it's like, we really did just lose, you know, someone special. We really did just lose a true car guy. I think that's what, like, many, guess what they call them, petrol heads, many of the car guys really thought. And even to this day, even before Fast and Furious 7 or Furious 7, you would constantly see tributes to, you know, Paul Walker. You would constantly see car meets, you would constantly see posts of him in his Skyline, him in his, you know, the Eclipse, the Evo, any kind of JDM car, not just in the movies, but off screen. You know, off screen they would show him by some of his own cars, by cars that, by, you know, places that he's visited that's about cars, like Nissan. Like, I remember seeing a YouTube video where he actually, I think he actually went to Japan and he visited a Nissan place, and he was able to test drive one of the GTRs. I think he also drove a Z, and it was just amazing seeing that he actually did have a passion for it. So I know I've been like really talking a lot. It's been a pretty long ramble. Some of it's just been like random nonsense, or it's just really hard to keep up because I'm really just saying what's ever coming to my mind. You know, every time I do these, you know, commentaries, every time I talk on the mic, it's never a script. It's just what comes to my mind, you say it. And that's exactly what this one is. So if you're able to keep up with me the whole time, if you're able to understand what I've been talking about, then I'm glad. I'm very happy that I didn't throw you guys off and just run you guys away from the video. Right now I'm just very happy. I'm very sad to see the legend Paul go. Even though it's been 2013, even though it was in 2013 when he passed away, it still feels like just yesterday. You know, you still have that same reaction that you did back then, hearing about Paul's death, hearing about, you know, him no longer, you know, walking amongst us. It's hard just knowing that Paul physically is no more, but I can say, you know, not being too religious or anything, that spiritually he is still amongst us all. He's with us every time we turn on the car, every time we hit the throttle. He's always there. You know, you can't do it without thinking about him, and it's just something truly beautiful. You know, he will never be forgotten. Even like 10 years from now, people will still be thinking of him. I know I will. You know, I'll always be thinking of him, especially when I finally get a GTR of my own. It'll always remind me of Paul Walker. So that has been everything. The recording's about to come to an end, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, this has been your boy taking heat. I'm out. Peace.